Today's webinar is going to focus on interpersonal effectiveness, which is one of the very important area nowadays. The reason being, because of the lockdown and the prevailing situation going on in all over the world, people are not able to meet with each other, and this is going to impact the relationship they have, and and interpersonal effectiveness is definitely going to be impacted because of this reason. So this webinar is definitely going to guide us, and we are going to learn from our experts that what we should do in this time, so that we can improve the interpersonal effectiveness, we can improve the relationship with the other people. In fact, we can learn that how the people are reacting in the different scenario. You must have faced these kind of scenario every day, that when you want to say no to someone, but you are not able to say no, and just because of this reason, that we have to accept the request or demand of others. So we need to understand what are our priorities and what are the demand of the others. So we need to develop that sense, so that we can make a distinction between the demand and priorities also. So today's webinar is definitely going to enlighten us that how we are going to fix our priorities, how we can understand the demands also, and how we can make the distinction between the priorities and demand also. So with the permission of Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh sir and Dr. S. Bhakkar sir, should we start our webinar, sir? Okay. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, so first of all, I would like to introduce the Prestige Institute Management in front of everyone. So I would request Professor Ram Paliwal to play the video. Indra ma'am, there is a voice. There is a problem in the voice. सर अनम्यूट कर दीजिए ना प्लीज। Thank you, Indra ma'am. The quality of your life is the quality of your relationship. And this is given by the Tony Robbins, and this is going to show the importance of today's webinar. So moving towards the next session, next chapter of our webinar, now I would like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. S.S. Bhakar. एक मिनट स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करें. Now I would like to invite Dr. S.S. Bhakar sir to address the audience.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Your
Am
voice is
I
clear. Your
audible?
voice, yeah, your voice is clear, sir.
The out would like to invite. I would like to welcome Professor Pawan Kumar Singh, Director MDI and the resource person in today's webinar. I also would like to welcome the the participants in this webinar. The topic for today's webinar, interpersonal effectiveness, is one of the most important area that everyone has to deal with every day. And unless an individual is effective while dealing with other people, he cannot be successful in life. One, also, the interpersonal skills are absolutely important in organizational settings. People have to interact with people, they have to be effective, and this effectiveness gets accumulated, and the organizational effectiveness is to a large extent depends on interpersonal skills, interpersonal effectiveness. Naturally,
Sir, your voice is not audible. Sir, voice is not audible. Sir, your voice is not audible. सर को फोन लगाना. Sir, your voice is not audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, your voice was not audible that time.
Well, so teaching. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Now.
Now it's audible, sir.
Okay. All right. So what I was talking about was that interpersonal effectiveness to a great extent depends on the skills that individuals have, and those skills which are absolutely essential to be effective while dealing with other people are communication skills, emotional intelligence, team skills, negotiation skills, conflict resolution skills, and problem solving skills. There are a host of others, but these are some of these skills that are absolutely essential. And a person needs to work on these skills to be effective while dealing with other people. As Gaurav mentioned, that interpersonal skills may take a beating when we are not meeting people face to face, but there are other ways of communicating with people, and you need to remain in communication with other people in such times when you are not able to physically meet, and those means of communication should be effective, so that the other person, like say, you can use video for while calling, so the other person feels as if you both have met. So these are some of the things people can do, and uh, this interpersonal skills, not only during COVID time, they're always important, but they are going to be absolutely important during COVID to get things done, because you're not meeting physically, and everyone working from home. And if you are working in a team, and if you're working from home, interpersonal skills are far more important in that case. I will not be taking too much of a time. We have a expert with us who will be dealing with this topic in detail. And I think I'm traveling, so maybe that my voice is also not very clear at all times. Therefore, I'm not taking much of your time, and I hand over the mic to the coordinator of the webinar. Okay, Gaurav, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Over to
sir.
you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for taking out your time and sharing your thought with us. And it is rightly said by the sir that definitely it is the word, it is the topic which people are searching also. In fact, what people are searching on the internet, and I would like to share that the word interpersonal effectiveness has been searched 2053 times in a month globally. In USA alone, it has been searched 860 times monthly, and in UK alone, it has been searched 366 times. And in India also, it has been searched around 336 times over the internet. And Indian Insight has been searched 291 times on an average, in India. In the month of February, April, September, and November, the word interpersonal effectiveness has been searched most of the time, and it has been searched more than 3,800 times these 4 months. So definitely, our next speaker, Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh, is going to guide us that why during these 4 months, that is February, April, September, November, like people are more searching this word on the internet. So with this word, I would like to invite Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh for the next session. First of all, I would like to introduce Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh.
Prestige Institute of Management Gwalior feels great privilege and honor to introduce Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh. Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh is engaged for more than 3 decades
Wonderful.
in academics. His unique blend of experience includes State University, Ujjain and Kanpur, Central University, IGNOU, New Delhi, National Institute, NIT
Hello.
Mumbai, and Indian Institute of
अब हो गया Singh is engaged for more than 3 decades in academics. His unique blend of experience includes State University, Ujjain and Kanpur, Central University, IGNOU, New Delhi, National Institute, NIT Mumbai, Hello. and Indian Institute of Management, Indore are to name a few. He operates in the field of HRM, Indian ethos, and managerial values and skills. Dr. Singh has published numerous research papers and books. Dr. Singh has trained Prestige Institute of Management Gwalior feels a great privilege and honor to introduce Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh. Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh is engaged for more than 3 decades in academics. His unique blend of experience includes State University, Ujjain and Kanpur, Central University, IGNOU, New Delhi, National Institute, NIT Mumbai, and Indian Institute of Management, Indore are to name a few. He operates in the field of OB and HRM, Indian ethos, and managerial values and skills. Dr. Singh has published numerous research papers and books. Dr. Singh has trained more than 15,000 executive participants. He has been invited speaker on more than 100 occasions. Currently, he is director at MDI Gurgaon. Prestige Institute of Management welcomes you to the webinar, sir.
अगर दोनों LinkedIn वाला भी आ गया है
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh to enlighten us with your thoughts, sir. So I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh.
Thank you. Dr. Gauravji, thank you very much. You have to reciprocate from your side whether
Yes.
I am clearly audible, yes or no.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
And I am clearly visible.
Yes, sir.
All right. Because I had to come to my mobile because my desktop could not work. but still I think there's no dilution in the way we are connecting to each other, isn't it? From my side, it is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let us proceed. Let us proceed further. And for about next 35 minutes or so, or 40 minutes, we can have a good discussion on interpersonal effectiveness, Indian insight. All right. So I take your signal, Dr. Gauravji. Should I proceed further now?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Professor Bhakar Sahab, Dr. Gauravji. I have so many friends there, Dr. Gauravji, Dr. Indiraji, and all friends of Prestige Institute of Management, Devas, and entire family of Prestige Institute elsewhere. I know Prestige Institute, two institutes in Indore also. For long, I have been connected with this institute. And just recently, you also conferred Management Achievement Award upon me. And I was humbled by your selection and honor. So thank you very much for all these. Let me begin with a prayer for welfare of all. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukh bhag bhavet. Let all be healthy and let all be happy and let all enjoy their life to the fullest extent and let there be no sorrow in anybody's life. We are meeting because last time when I had been to Gwalior for the very function of Prestige Institute of Devas only, I had a very good stay there and very fruitful discussion with the entire galaxy of speakers and audience and lovely faculty of Prestige Institute of Management Devas and Gwalior. And this time we are meeting in a very different situation. At that time, imagine that next time you would meet. Of course, we were knowing that online technique exists, but we never thought that we would meet through online, and that too, the distance between you and me would be obstacled by a pandemic called COVID-19 or Corona. So, in this situation, I will focus on two dimensions in this discussion. One is interpersonal effectiveness in general, how it looks like, but that is not about this session, because I'll just remind you how interpersonal effectiveness looks like in normal discussion. But I would like to focus on two things. Number one, that what we mean by interpersonal effectiveness, Indian insight, how we can improvise the understanding of interpersonal effectiveness from insights given by Indian scriptures. That is number one. And second, I would keep emphasizing here and there as intertwined approach that in this difficult time, how this subject has become still more important. This topic has still more important. And what are the implications of interpersonal effectiveness in or during or post COVID-19? So welcome to this discussion. You see, when we say interpersonal effectiveness, this concept or topic, its importance was so much imbibed in our system of education that some of you will get surprised to know that any discourse, any discussion, on any part of knowledge used to start with a prayer to exist, a prayer to cosmos for having the right kind of relationship among we all, and then discussion used to start. You see, in our ancient literature, we find that we had all kinds of vidya. If you go to Jain, you will find that 64 skills were learned by Lord Krishna in Sandipani Ashram. And apart from 64 skills which are useful for effectiveness in mundane existence, he also, that is Lord Krishna and Sudama and Balram, they all studied 14 Mahavidya also. Means 14 Vidya introducing to get acquainted with self, which are called Vidya in Upanishad, and 64 skills, which are called worldly Vidya and actually called Avidya in Upanishad. So 64 plus 14 Vidya he studied there. And before any kind of Vidya used to be discussed between the teacher and the taught, means the relation between two sides, teacher side and taught side, and if I take all the taught side as singular, unit, then it was a kind of prayer used to be chanted before any vidya used to be discussed. And typically one prayer we find in Upanishad, which is part of invocation of about 23 Upanishads, and that says, Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanao Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai, Om Shante, Shante, Shante. You see, anything you discuss in those old days of when we say that India was guru of the world, anything you discuss like Dhanur Vidya or Ayurvidya or Veda Vidya, the discussion used to start with a prayer for effective interpersonal relationship. That is the beauty of our Vidya. And this sutra also was one of the part of invocation. Om. Om means, O cosmic force, help us and give us a strength. Sahana Bhavatu, let both of us, means let the teacher and the taught come together. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanao Bhunaktu, let we all enjoy, eat. Bhunaktu means to eat. To eat means does not mean only to eat food. If you are enjoying study, self-study, adhyavasaya, swadhyaya, that is also eating knowledge. When you are watching TV, then you are eating some information. So bhunaktu means taking from outside to your inside via your senses, that is indriya. Everything was called as bhunaktu, as eating. So the prayer says, let we all eat together, means let we all consume the knowledge together. And sahana bhunaktu, sahaviryam karvavahai, let we all become strengthened together, let we all attain strength together. Sahaviryam karvavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, let we all achieve tejasvita. Tejasvinavadhitamastu means let we all achieve tejasvita, illumination together. Ma vidvishavahai, let there be no ill feeling between you and me, means our interpersonal relationship should not be marred or jeopardized by any kind of ill feeling. Om Shante, 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 let you and me both attain peace at 3 levels. Shante, Shante, Shante means let we all enjoy peace at physical level, mental level, and spiritual level. See the beauty of Indian way of imparting education in old days also, or you can say golden days also, that interpersonal effectiveness was first ensured, then they used to start discussion on management, on business, on commerce, on economics, on chemistry, on physics, on astronomy, on astrology. So any subject you discuss, first of all, there was a prayer for interpersonal effectiveness. That is the beauty of Indian culture. And that is the beauty of Indian way of imparting education. That is the beauty of either pedagogy or andragogy. So I think I've been able to place the due importance of interpersonal effectiveness in Indian system. But let us see worldwide researches also. American Management Association enjoys its own respect and prestige amongst academia and practitioners in the field of management. And American Management Association, about 12 or 14 years back, somewhere 12 to 13 to 14 years back, they had done a study and had recommended based on this study that every executive of the world, and executive also includes our say second year MBA students also, because they are going to be executives. So every executive of the world deserves 69 days of training on interpersonal effectiveness. This is another beauty to interpersonal effectiveness added by American Management Association's study. I would repeat, it said 69 days training every manager deserves, every manager is eligible of, every manager should be imparted to. But from where this sacrosanct figure 69 came? Ye 69 aaya kahan se? So 69 has come from 23 3s are 69. हिंदी मीडियम में 23 तिया, हम लोग बचपन में हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़े, 4 तिया 12 है, 4 थ्रीजा हम लोग थोड़ी जानते हैं त्रीजा क्या होता है। 23 threes 69. So from here 69 has come. What does it mean? American Management Association has suggested there are basic 23 different shades, different context of interpersonal situation. Please remember, A and B, two persons are together and they are in interpersonal relationship. In other case, A1 and B1 are in interpersonal relation. In other case, A2 and B2, A3 and B3, A4 and B4, each interpersonal relation is not similar. There are 23 different shades of interpersonal situation. And each situation requires different skills to become effective in that situation. And that's why in 23 different shades of interpersonal relationship, for every shade, 3 days training should be there. Say in one day, if we give 6 hours formal interaction, so 6-hour formal interaction for 3 days on one shade of interpersonal context, then on other shade, again 3 days, on third, again 3 days, on 23rd, again 3 days. So 23 3s are 69. Every working executive needs training for 69 days on interpersonal context. Now here I will just demystify that what are those 23 different contexts of interpersonal relationship. For example, one is coaching skill. A is giving coaching to B. Giving coaching, receiving coaching is interpersonal skill. So coaching is one context. On coaching, 3 days training program. So out of 23, one is over. Other is counseling. Third is mentoring. Next is interpersonal conflict handling. Next is networking. Next is persuading. Next is influencing. Next is, negotiating. 23 different shades. And negotiation going on between A and B is different than coaching going on between A and B. And that's why you would find that anyone who is par excellence in coaching may not be very effective in negotiation. So you may ask a question, does it mean that out of all these 23 shades of interpersonal situation, I need to be par excellent, I need to be champion in each of the shades? This answer has not been provided in that literature, but every answer you will not find in books. किताबों में सब चीज नहीं मिलती, हमें खुद भी खोजना पड़ता है. This is my understanding which I'm sharing you. You need not to become champion in all these 23 shades, but if you are champion in one or two aspects, sufficient. If let us say you and I, every one of us is not so good counselor, it does not matter. We are not born to be good counselor necessarily. But if you are champion influencer, if you are champion persuader, you are champion coach, be champion in one or two. क्योंकि देखिए जमाना ये आ गया है, the age has come, that age has gone, that jack of all trades, master of none, it is gone. The age has come, jack of all trades. Jack is not a bad word here. Means you can fit into situation anywhere, you can learn quickly. Jack of all trades, but master of some. Jack, MBA, let us say, MBA program, what we are making our students, what we are trying to make, and even teachers should become like that. Jack of all trades means each shade of management you should know. You see, any B school, including Prestige Institute of Management, Gwalior, if you see, the faculty can be identified under 9 or 10 different areas. And these areas are, let us say, HR and IR and OB, one area, finance, accounting, another area, marketing, sales combined, another area, production, inventory, operations research, quantitative techniques, statistics, combinedly one area of operations management, 4 basic areas. Then all areas are basic, of course. Then economics area, then MIS area, then a strategy area. Typically, you will find there are 8 or 9 or 10 areas. Now, when all these areas faculty sit together, all are learned faculty, but they all are learned in different way. Everyone is knowing management. In your faculty, in my faculty, irrespective of area, everybody knows management. but somebody knows marketing more, somebody knows HR more, somebody knows strategy more. Jack of all trades and master of some. This is the age, and that's why out of 23 shades of interpersonal situation, if your student, one particular student is champion in two, he or she has served the purpose. Or if a teacher is champion in one or two, as an individual, I am champion in one or two, purpose is served. So that is the importance given to interpersonal effectiveness. First, I said in our Indian context of those old days, golden days of imparting education. And secondly, the modern research, just 12 years back, American Management Association advocating 23 69 days training for every executive of the world only in interpersonal effectiveness. That is the importance. Now, coming back, let us say what typically we discuss in our B schools. What typically we discuss in, let us say, Prestige Institute of Management Gwalior, or MDI Gurgaon, or IIM Indore, or NITI Mumbai, institutions which I know, or any other institutions where we go. So what we are discussing under the umbrella of interpersonal effectiveness. See, I'm just proposing, you may be discussing something more, but typically these are common basket which I am sharing. One is we discuss about Johari window. Joe and Harris, they brought and they found 4 windows, and that's why they said that keep on increasing. And some of my part of this discussion, if you have seen Johari window, you can understand, but here it is not my prerogative or let us say job to describe that. I'm just reminding. And those who know, they will enjoy the discussion faster. And those, they have just heard but forgotten Johari window, don't worry about it. But what we discuss, Johari window, that some part of your personality which are known to you and known to others also. Some other part of your personality known to only self but not to others. Other part known to others, not to yourself. Fourth part not known to yourself, not known to others. But Johari window emphasizes that make your social window more wider, means let more of you be known by others and let you try more knowledge about others. And then the interaction or intersection area between these two circles and applying a Venn diagram there, the intersection area will be wider between me and let us say you. In that case, we can interact better. Johari window is discussed, wonderfully discusses. Of course, every model has its own limitations. I'm not going to that, but this is what we are discussing in general. Second thing that we in general discuss is transactional analysis. We take 3 steps model, three circles: parent egoist state, parent egoist state, adult egoist state, child egoist state of one person, and other persons, again, the arrangement of these 3 circles, parent, adult, child. And then we say that depending on the empirical sentences they have used among themselves, we analyze that what has been flow of the communication, and we suggest to students or to working managers that indulge only into parallel transaction, and that too parallel which are actually between the same level of egoist state. Not every time P to C and C to P and P to C and C to P. That parallelism will not stay effective for long run. Actually, it has to be parallel at the same level of egoist state. So A to A to A, isn't it? That's something like that. So this is what we discuss under transactional analysis. And we say that improve parallelism in your transaction and keep on reducing the cross transaction. And certainly you must say goodbye to ulterior transaction, which are a double layer and might end up in sarcasm. And this we discuss typically in transactional analysis. What else we discuss typically in our B schools? Just to remind you, other is FIRO-B model, fundamental of interpersonal relationship orientation in behavior, given by William Shudge. And it talks about 6 windows again, across 2 dimensions. One is called expressed behavior and wanted behavior. Other is inclusion, control, and affection. So there are 6 boxes like expressed inclusion, expressed control, expressed affection, wanted inclusion, wanted control, wanted affection. And these scores are there. So those who deal with this, they know. We talk about FIRO-B, and FIRO-B model is applied to understand interpersonal compatibility or incompatibility between 2 persons at workplace. And FIRO-B you might also have applied I have also applied in some of my workshops or consultancy intervention at the pre-stage to find out that real life means those two persons who are in real life, boss and subordinate, how effectiveness or ineffectiveness has creeped in their behavior. So 5OB is the third model. Johari window, transaction analysis, 5OB. Fourth, typically we keep discussing under the umbrella of interpersonal effectiveness is style of handling interpersonal conflict. And there we go to the classical model of, let us say, Thomas model, and later on this 9x9 matrix model we go, Blanchard model we go later on. And then there we discuss about basically 5 styles of interpersonal conflict handling, and they are across 2 dimensions: concern for work and concern for people. So there are 5 dimensions: low concern for work and low for people, high concern for work and low for people, and low concern for work and high for people, moderate concern for work and moderate for people, and high concern for work and high concern for people, giving birth to 5 different styles of interpersonal conflict handling strategy. They are known as avoiding strategy, competing strategy, accommodating strategy, compromising strategy, and collaborating strategy. This typically we discuss in any PG school. And then one thing more, and last thing that we keep discussing, I'll keep discussing here also. Last thing we discuss, and it is not discussed by generally OB faculty or HR faculty. This is being discussed by communication skills faculty, business communication faculty, and they talk about a typical model of flow of interpersonal communication: sender to decoding, sender to encoding, encoding to channel media to decoding, and decoding to receiver, feedback loop between receiver and sender. An entire model is clouded by 3 basic obstacles or constants, and they will be called as physical, psychological, and semantic. Semantic means language related barriers. So this model says how communication flows from sender to receiver via encoding process, media channel, decoding, sender, feedback loop, and clouded by, eclipsed by 3 barriers: physical barrier, psychological, and semantic barriers. Fine. We teach, we cover syllabus. Students are also happy, teachers are also happy. Now we want to make a journey further from here. Now from here, something different that what I wanted to say in this workshop, I'm saying in this interaction that I want to say, because title is not interpersonal effectiveness, it is Indian insight, and some of the very profound ideas and insights which we have got and which are grown in India, we forget, we do not apply it, but they are very important. For example, first thing I would like to say here, in Indian scriptures, 3 gunas have been described: Sattva guna, S alphabet, Rajo guna, R alphabet, and Tamo guna, T alphabet. We can say it SRT framework. Like in transactional analysis, we keep on saying PAC framework, parent, adult, child. Come to Indian insight, and it is very, very profound. My entire existence is Trigunatmak. Sattva guna, Rajo guna, and Tamo guna. What are they? Sattva guna are those guna which are better in nature. It gives light, it gives illumination, it lifts your chetana. Its nature is to go up and up in its quality. Bhagavad Gita says, Urdhvang gachanti satvika, madhye tishtanti rajasa, adho gachanti tamasa. There are 3 types of tendencies in every individual. In one particular individual, one tendency may be more dominant, other may be just moderately effective, third may be dormant. And when you engage with other person, look at that from which guna the person has spoken to you. Is it Sato guna or Rajo guna and Tamo guna? And once we know the pattern of that communication, we can start our strategy to respond to that communication. For example, one of the friends, two friends are talking, and one friend says, hey, we should find shortcut in our study process, and let us try some devices through which we need to study less and we get more marks. So marks oriented and oriented towards less of karma, less of action. Actually, this friend has forgotten that there is no shortcut to success. And if you take shortcut, in short run, it may appear to be giving sweeter result, but in long run, it is going to be bitter. So if you also reciprocate, yes, let us find it out. It means the person is saying from tamasic guna to your tamasic guna, he's trying to instigate, or she's trying to instigate your tamasic guna, and you are also speaking from your tamasic guna and trying to instigate the tamasic guna, and you will remain at lower level. Because adho gachanti tamasa, tamasic guna, they take you to downward trend. Rajo guna, they keep you at the same level of consciousness. And sattva guna, they lift your consciousness. Bhagavad Gita has said, I will repeat, urdhvam gachanti sattvika, madhye tishtanti rajasa, adho gachanti tamasa. And that's why when I discuss with senior managers, digital managers or managing directors, I challenge them that please analyze your own life, that when you were management trainee one day and today you are managing director, of course you were MT one day, management trainee MT, today you have become managing director MD, whole life you have removed T and you have invented D. That change has taken and you have added a lot of responsibilities in your job profile. But whether you developed as a human being or the journey was in the reverse process, whether you were more developed at the age of 22 and less developed at the age of 52, that is a possibility. Maybe that I was more developed when I was assistant professor, and I am not so developed as full professor. I'm not saying in terms of typical syllabus-based knowledge. I'm saying about these gunas, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. And if we become senior by age, and if we do not move from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic, and we do not help others to move from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic, we have not developed from the parameters of Indian insight. That I'm saying. There's no threat, no challenge. Just we are discussing something in very lighter way. Don't take it too heavily upon you. But then, unless I help a person with whom I'm interacting, unless I help him to move or her to move from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic, actually I have not helped the person to develop through an interpersonal process. Remember, please, one thing. This is my take. I don't want you should means I should impose anything on you. Whenever we talk about Indian insight talks about strategy, talks about business, talks about finance management, talks about taxation, talks about HR management, talks about anything, talks about 7 strategies of marketing also, which if you can properly bring from Vidur Niti, 6, 7 different strategies of marketing, of winning the market. Whatever Indian insight is talking about, Indian insight talks on anything that you can imagine, but every time one agenda is hidden, the development of the person involved in that process. Self-development is always necessarily embedded in any discussion that Indian insight is doing. मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूं. Mahabharata Shastra, very big Shastra. It has 1,300,000 shlokas. So take the original Shastra. And if you take only Sanskrit Mool without Hindi or English translation, it will go into at least about 3,000 pages. Now 3,000, you randomly turn a page. You will find some part of a story. Either it is Adi Parva or Sabha Parva or whichever. But you will find the 2 pages which are before your eyes. Somewhere it is discussing about development of self. Because Indian insight believes that we are born, hamara janam hua, with a purpose of making ourselves more and more evolved, and the purpose is to get rid of our impurities and become pure day by day. And the day on which I will say goodbye to the world means on the day on which my mortal coil physical body will completely decay and will say goodbye. On that day, I must have achieved the highest degree of possible purity, what could be done in this life. So that's why Indian Insight always emphasizes on self-development. That's why one model is Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. Second model I'm saying from Indian Insight is take that typical model of communication classes: sender, encoding, media channel, decoding, receiver. This is interpersonal between sender and receiver. But Indian Insight says, before you play the role of sender, in interpersonal context, play a good role as a sender within yourself through intrapersonal mechanism. देखिए, interpersonal means between two persons. Intrapersonal means within that person. हिंदी में अगर कहा जाए तो interpersonal अंतर्वैयक्तिक and intrapersonal antarvayaktik within myself. So Indian model may be proposed like this, that Indian model would not start with sender, it will start with the intrapersonal mechanism of sender. And there are three stages here. The experience of sender will, means one box, will go to intellect of sender, then mind of sender, then sender. Means before we pronounce sender, there is a pre-stage and the linkage go into backward linkaging process. And there are three stages. First, experience of the sender, then intellect of sender, then mind of sender, then encoding, then media channel, then decoding, then receiver. And after receiver has received, now intrapersonal mechanism will work within the receiver in the same reverse order which was working within the sender. So once communication reaches to sender, now it further creeps into mind of sender, intellect of sender, experience of sender. Please listen what I'm trying to say. The entire model looks like this now. It starts with experience of sender, to intellect of sender, to mind of sender, to encoding process, to media channel, to decoding process, to receiver, to mind of receiver, to intellect of receiver, to experience of receiver. And experience of receiver to experience of sender, there will be feedback loop. What I am trying to say, the typical model given in the textbook from where we teach this model, it says that communication is complete when a message has reached from sender to a receiver. But Indian Insight will not get satisfied with this process, that interpersonal communication is only interpersonal communication. Indian Insight would say that interpersonal communication is combination of three stages: intrapersonal communication within the sender, plus interpersonal communication within the sender and the receiver, plus intrapersonal communication within the receiver. क्योंकि इंट्रा पर बहुत जोर है, इंडियन इंसाइट में इंट्रा पर बहुत जोर है. Even Indian Insight says at various places, there is nothing outside, everything is inside. Indian Insight also says at various places, there is nothing worth achieving anything outside you, everything worth achieving is inside you. इसलिए देखिए, इंडियन इंसाइट में आंतरिक शुद्धि पर बहुत जोर है, इंडियन इंसाइट में अंदर की दुनिया पर बहुत जोर है, क्योंकि वहां वही असली है. इसलिए if you find either you take Mahavir or you take Gautam Buddha or you see Patanjali, they all had been engineers or doctors of inner world. And from there, they dive deeper and they brought the most precious pearl of wisdom outside. It is also said that persons working at that level of consciousness, they actually dilute their level of consciousness before they come to interact with you and me, because they are so empathetic, they have so great empathy that they take the role and the level of the receiver when they interact. So Buddha Purusha, they do not interact with their Buddhahood. They talk at your level and they come at our level. So what is in this model? When we say experience of sender, that is the beginning, it means I'll speak that what I have experienced within myself. And this intrapersonal process within the sender actually is manasa vacha karmana aikyam. What I thought, what I did, and what I say, all three are one. Otherwise, we have become champion gymnasts of language. We are playing gymnasium with language. We are impressing others, but it is creating no impact. Impact would be created only when we are authentic. And within our processes, we are manasa. At manasa means at mind level, at vacha means at spoken level, and karmana means at doing level. If all three are same, then my experience has become my words have become my thoughts have become my action, and from there I speak. Then goes to the second level. Second stage is intellect of sender. If you remember, I said experience of sender to intellect of sender. Intellect basically is the filter. And remember, every of your experience, of course, depending on the receiver's maturity, every of your experience should not be shared in threadbare manner. Exact experience that you had, you should not share, because the receiver may not be able to digest it, may not be able to appreciate it. Let us say, for example, now you have become a very wonderful human being, and jealousy is not within your domain. But at one point of time, you used to feel jealous about others' development. So through a process, you tried to address this issue, and now jealousy is within your control. Now, what happened during those processes? How you used to feel jealous? Such kind of openness, or such kind of, let us say, a kind of revealing everything, not desirable. Unless somebody is so close friend, or somebody asks, or somebody is your alter ego in professional interaction, you need to share those things which are beneficial for the receiver. Otherwise, something may become disadvantageous for him. So use intellect. Then mind. Mind of sender means mind is an instrument which actually allows the things to travel. Mind's job is to connect. कई बार हम गच्चा खा जाते हैं. मन बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार. These are four inner instruments which are called in Sanskrit antahkaran chatushtay. मन बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार. गच्चा हम खा जाते हैं. मन क्या है, बुद्धि क्या है, चित्त क्या है. Mind is basically an instrument which connects. Buddhi is an instrument basically which filters. Chit is basically an instrument which imprints inside. And ahankar is basically an instrument which gives you an identity card, that this is you, this is your name, this is your designation, this is your house number, this is the number of your room in the office. So ahankar, it has got functional utility, but if improperly used, ahankar becomes your greatest enemy. These are four antahkaran chatushtay. So in this process, experience of sender to intellect of sender to mind of sender, rest of 5 stages we know, because sender to encoding to channel media we have been teaching for many years, and to ultimately to receiver. But once the message reaches to receiver has to play the role properly now, because in interpersonal communication, sender's role compared to him or her, the receiver's role is more. Shishya role is more than teacher. A student's role is more than teacher in the process of learning. Then only the student is a true student. Now it has reaches to the sender. Then it will go to mind of the sender. That mind is bidirectional. Mind connects your inner world with outer and connects outer with inner. So in the role of sender, you have spoken from inner to outer. And in the role of receiver, you are receiving from outer to inner, and mind takes inside. And then it goes to wisdom filter. And receiver should not receive everything sent by sender. He or she should receive only as permitted by the filter of his intelligence or her intelligence. That is intelligence of the receiver. And then it becomes experience of receiver. And if experience of sender has become experience of receiver, then the process of communication is complete. That is the depth of Indian insight. In this way, I just propose you can think in this way how to improvise the typical model given in your book, textbook typically written by Western authors. I salute to Western authors. Mostly they have given our management literature. We keep on parroting also, but sometimes we should think also, because India is custodian of deepest part of wisdom. And because I'm Indian, I'm not saying India is a part of world, and by chance it has become custodian of deeper wisdom. So what I can do? So India should not feel special. India should feel more responsible that we have to bring this deeper wisdom for the entire humanity of the world. So this is one thing I said. Second point, I'd like to come from the angle of Indian insight, interpersonal effectiveness. And here I'll read few words which are based on my one of the articles. Abate, negate, relate, debate, contemplate, meditate, and perpetrate. These are various steps of effective interpersonal framework. Now I'll tell you one thing. Quickly. Abate. Abate, A-B-A-T-E. English is funny language. A-B-A-T-E, abate means to reduce. A-B-E-T-T, abate means to increase. So, abate. Abate means kam kariye. In your interpersonal interaction, reduce the toxic part. It is your responsibility. अक्सर हम कहते हैं, दूसरा क्यों नहीं सोचता है? Why he should not think twice before speaking to me? भाई दूसरा नहीं सोचा, आपको सोचना है. I sometimes say that when you drive on Indian road, please be careful of your life, because other is driving recklessly. Please take care of your life, and not only take care of your own life, take care of others' life, because the way he is driving, it seems he is not interested in his own life. So take responsibility for his life also. Actually, we have to be doubly responsible when we drive on roads, typical roads. Similarly, when we are in interpersonal context, husband, wife, brother, sister, neighbor, boss, subordinate, teacher, student, so many types of relationship. Jahan aakh kholiye wahi interpersonal relation hai. Now, how to be effective? Don't expect things from other side. Take more responsibility on your side. Even in case of husband-wife relationship, I will say, as a husband, I may think why she is not taking double care of me. I should start thinking, let me take care. That is her job to think whether she has to take care or not. If you take more responsibility, you generate more responsiveness. So abate, toxic नेचर को कम करिए, पढ़ाने में मदद मत करिए, उधर से आशा मत करिए, आप खुद करिए. इसलिए पहला स्टेप है अबेट फ्रॉम योर ओन साइड. देखिए वाल्मीकि रामायण में लिखा हुआ है राम के कई कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं. वन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ राम इज रामः पूर्व अभिवादनशीलः. राम पहले ही गुड मॉर्निंग बोल देते हैं. सुप्रभात बोलते होंगे, गुड मॉर्निंग तो नहीं, सुप्रभात. पूर्व अभिवादनशील है. कोई हमको अभिवादन करे, सैल्यूट करे, उससे पहले हम ही कर दें, ये एक गुण कहा गया. सिमिलरली, if there is some kind of rift between two persons for time being, before expecting that he or she will take this step, I should take this step. मैं अपना जानूं, वो अपना जाने. So abate. Second is negate. Negate means if any kind of, let us say, negotiation going on where you have to deny, simply say no, that it cannot be done under this scheme of things. Either we have to change the scheme of things or we have to change the proposal. Don't keep scratching your back and talking about, beating about bushes. Be straightforward but polite and say, this cannot be done in this way. So abate, fir negate. Third is relate. Relate means whenever you communicate with some person in interpersonal situation, in that case, you relate the immediate purpose and the broader purposes. Sometimes we reflect so much selfish, you do not know that how much selfish you are reflecting yourself. Jahan jaiye sugandh phailaiye and be broader and take care of your, let us say, your interest, but simultaneously take care of other interest also. Relate. Fourth is debate. Even with your, let us say, child who is 30 years younger to you, please engage into a debate, because you should treat other persons with full respect. I will appeal all of you to deal with your children or deal with any child, deal with younger persons with a little more respect. They deserve respect. Their physical body is younger to you. Your younger sister is younger to you as far as in the context of physical body, but her Atma and your Atma are ever old, and all are old. She is not actually younger to you. So debate means you are giving full respect and actually you are promoting assertiveness. Then contemplate. Contemplate means before you speak, think about it, because implications should be imagined about. You should have a guess that iska anjam kya hoga, ye baat kitni dur tak jayegi. Contemplate. Next, second last is meditate. Meditate means when you actually take your consciousness deep within and slowly you allow yourself to emerge inside, you will find that after that you are more fresh and better decisions you are taking. There are many examples. SM Datta of Hindustan Lever or RK Talwar of State Bank of India, they were all CMDs. They used to meditate for some time at workplace whenever they used to feel disturbed, and they used to say that it is not good to take decision on with disturbed mind. It should not be agitated mind taking decision. It should be meditated mind which should take decision. So they used to also emphasize on meditation. And last one here in this framework is perpetrate. Perpetrate means in interpersonal exchange of ideas, when you have taken a decision after due deliberation, after due diligence, then though the decision may be a bit difficult decision, but once you have taken, you have given full course of action, you have taken all angle consideration, but once you have taken, please implement, be firm, don't fumble. That is perpetrate. So my framework of Indian insight is abate, negate, relate, debate, contemplate, meditate, and perpetrate. And that's why I think 5 minutes are there. Dear Gauravji, or any other friend who is listening, anyone please unmute and say me if I have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir, you have 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, okay.
You can take
all
your
right.
time.
I'm going towards now concluding part because time was between 4 to 5, but anyway. See, so two frameworks I have discussed. One is from experience of receiver to experience of sender. And second is framework of abate to perpetrate. And third one that I'm discussing is, this is also given in typical management books, but Indian insight emphasizes it more. It says, in interpersonal context, drop reacting, promote responding, promote within yourself more response and reduce reaction. Reaction basically, reaction when you do, you are working as per the scheme of things of other person. Suppose you reacted in anger, then I ask you, why you became angry? And then you say, he made me angry. It means he is controlling you. पुराने जमाने में चंदा मामा में आप कहानी पढ़ते होंगे that there used to be a ferocious magician. He used to torture people. There was no way of killing him. But one sadhu told some children that there is a parrot in the deep forest, and the prana of this ferocious magician actually stays in the neck of that parrot, which lives in a very dense forest. Reaching there is very, very dangerous. You can't reach. But these children, they plan, they reach there, they twist the neck of the parrot, parrot gets destroyed, and magician also gets destroyed. Mera yahi कहना है, like that magician, your and my prana is living in others. दूसरा हमें कंट्रोल कर रहा है, वो मुझे गुस्सा दिला दे रहा है, वो मुझे गाली बकवा दे रहा है. अरे उसने गाली बका. Gautam Buddha says he abused you. You have now choice. You can abuse, or you may not like to abuse. You may decide not to abuse. So there are two contexts here. I'm saying that, you know, reaction and response. And my proposal always is resign from the world of reaction and join the new world. Take the citizenship of new world which is waiting for you, world of response. You see, when you live in reaction, you live like poor persons. मैं यही कहता हूं कि जो प्रतिक्रिया में जीते हैं वो दरिद्र की भांति जीते हैं. उसने हमें खुश करवा दिया, उसने हमें दुखी करवा दिया. Those who live in the world of response, they live in the world of richness. वो धनी की तरह जीते हैं, वो रईसों की तरह जीते हैं. Be more dhani rather being more poor in case of interpersonal context. So Don't react, respond. Gautam Buddha said in Dhammapad, verse number 5, first chapter, and he said, Na hi verena verani sammanti dhukudachana averen hi sammanti es dhammo sanantano. Gautam Buddha says, and these are the statement of enlightened Buddha. Once he had got enlightened, he started saying vachana, and they were collected across 40 years of spread, and that is called Dhammapad. And he says, Na hi verena verani, that enmity does not get reduced when you react enmity by enmity. Nahi verein verani sammanti kudachana. Kabhi bhi iska samadhan nahi hota. Averein hi sammanti. Somebody is showing enmity towards you. Somebody is showing negativity towards you. But you take a conscious decision not to reflect negativity from your own side. Averein hi sammanti. Es dhammo sanantano. This is eternal dharma. So eternal dharma is that be in your own command. दूसरा आपको चलाए, उससे अच्छा है मैं स्वयं अपनी चेतना से अपने आप को चलाऊं. Then we will be more effective in interpersonal situation. And last point I would like to say, from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali said, and it is very interesting how parents should deal with more than one child if they are in the home, how teachers should deal with number of students, how we should deal with our neighbors. Patanjali says, Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam Sukh Dukh Punya Apunya Vishyanam Bhavanatah Chitta Prasadanam. Patanjali says, Patanjali does not say in this language, but I'm interpreting, because sometimes you have to read what the writer is not writing, and sometimes you have to listen to the speaker what he is not speaking but indicating towards that. And Patanjali is indicating that don't give the same treatment to everybody. Don't treat your self-disciplined student and ill-disciplined student in the same manner. Don't treat your two children, one is self-disciplined, one is ill-disciplined, exactly in the same manner, pretending that you are impartial parent or you are impartial teacher. Don't do that. Patanjali says, according to the person, respond the person, and says, Maitri ka bhav rakhiye kinhi ke prati. Maitri means friendliness, Karuna means compassion, Mudita means delightfulness, Upeksha means indifference, means friendliness, compassion, delightfulness, and indifference. You should practice these four towards four kind of people. तो पहले लाइन में तो कहा कि strategy of dealing with people, और दूसरे लाइन में कहा types of people. What is the second line? Sukh dukh punya apunya vishyanam. Sukh means those who are happy. Dukh means those who are unhappy. Punya means those who are virtuous, engaged in shubh work, pious works, good works. Sukh dukh punya apunya. Apunya means those persons who are engaged in heinous work, undesirable work, impure works. अब चारों को मिला दीजिए. There are four strategies of relationship and four types of person. उसी सीरीज में देखिए, मैत्री, करुणा, मुदित, उपेक्षा, सुखी, दुखी, पुण्य, अपुण्य. So he's saying, have friendliness for those who are happy. But in general, what happens when we see some person happy, we do not become happy. Sorry, when we see some person happy, we do not develop friendliness. We feel jealousy. Why he is happy? Patanjali says, if you see a person who is happy, then you develop friendliness towards that person. If you see a person who is unhappy, develop compassion for that person. And if you see some person virtuous, suppose one of your colleagues who is younger to you recently joined the organization, and you find out of 10 required skills, in 2 skills, he or she is ahead of you. Though you are 10 years, having 10 years experience, and she has joined just now. Now the person is virtuous. Feel delight that in my team, a person has come, though younger to me, knows better than me in these 2 dimensions. And if some person is wicked, जो कहते हैं ना कि आदत में उनकी है शैतानी करना, नुकसान पहुंचाना, तो ये अपुण्य लोग कहे जाते हैं. इनके प्रति कहा indifference, उपेक्षा का भाव. Give some rope, some longer rope, to get rectified by themselves. And if they do not understand your polite language, then you talk in their language. But right in the beginning, don't be revengeful to them. So Patanjali says, don't be revengeful to a person who is engaged in inauspicious act. Be indifferent, but if time comes, give reply in befitting language. So Patanjali says, Maitri Karuna Mudit Upekshanam, Sukh Dukh Punya Apunya Vishyanam, Bhavanatah Chitta Prasadanam. If accordingly you treat with people, your own bhavana, your own chitta will be full with prasad. Prasad means gracefulness. Prasad means greater gift of the existence. हम सत्यनारायण पूजा के बाद प्रसाद खाते हैं, वही है प्रसाद. आपको आनंद मिलता है, आपको एक स्फुरना होती है, कभी रोमांच हो जाता है, कभी ईश्वर के भाव में मन चला जाता है, कभी भक्ति से आंखें भींग जाती हैं. These all are prasad. So if you want to have prasad of existence, treat different people differently. So I'll conclude saying, Patanjali is saying, don't do absolute equal behavior towards all. Do proportional equal behavior towards all. According to the person, for the benefit of the person, with complete purity inside intact, deal with the person. These are some of the Indian insights of interpersonal effectiveness. I have to stop here because watch is running very fast. And thank you very much for this opportunity. And Prestige Institute of Management, Gwalior, is just like my own institute. I have visited several times there. Sometime I have visited twice in a particular calendar year. And I always look forward to go there. Professor Bhakhar has built a wonderful team there. And it is a typical combination of जोश and होश. वहाँ होशपूर्ण लोग भी हैं, एक्सपीरियंस लोग भी हैं, और एक्सपीरियंस का लाभ लेकर के होश के साथ और जोश के साथ काम करने वाले युवा फैकल्टी भी हैं. It is a very good blending. I always look forward to be with you all. Thank you very much, and God bless all of us. Thank you for organizing this talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, it was a great journey in last 1 hour, because we are fortunate enough to listen you. In fact, you have covered lots of topic, because we people used to read about the foreign, like the discussion about the interpersonal effectiveness, but rarely we used to read, and we have a chance to read like the Indian insight. And you have mentioned so many things from Triguna, then 23 interpersonal context, then the model, the 2 models, then the Patanjali Sutra also, and your own model also. So really it was a very good journey, and definitely we all have learned a lot from this discussion. Sir, yeah, some people would like to ask the queries. They have the queries. So if you
Sure,
allow them.
I'll be happy to respond, please. My answer will be short, but
Yes,
let me
sir.
have questions.
Okay. I would like to ask Dr. Ajit Upadhyay from Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore, to ask the question. Sir, please unmute him.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible,
Hello.
sir.
Okay, thank you. Sadar Charan
Yeah.
Ajit ji,
Whisper, sir. Good evening. This is Ajit, your disciple. Yes, yes, sir. Just like student, I'm asking.
आप जरा बोलना बंद करें. मैं सबको बताऊं कि अजीत जी मेरे विद्यार्थी रहे, और करीब 3 दशक पहले. और विद्यार्थी तो बहुत आते हैं, लेकिन कुछ विद्यार्थी याद रह जाते हैं. उनमें से अजीत जी एक हैं. हाँ अजीत जी बोलिए.
Sir, I'm honored. Actually, I'm just asking, just like a student. Dr. Indra Sharma got me entered here. She told me your Guruji is now delivering lecture. So my question is that if there are sender and receiver, 2 communicators are there, and the interpersonal communication sentence or the medium is very perfect, still if their level is differing or matching, how this is going to impact upon the actual meaning of the communication?
If the level is different,
if suppose first condition level is matching, both are maybe of higher level or lower level, or level is mismatch. One could be, is very depth in understanding, or delving over the topics, and second one is not fail to understand the right what is communicated.
Fine. So my crisp answer would be, Professor Ajit ji,
Yes,
that there may be three situations. Level is same, but level of both is very high. In that process, least number of words would be needed, because density of each word will be so high that few exchange of words and they will understand each other. No problem. But if level is same, but both the person's level is very low, then whatever this is the amount of communication and number of words used, there could not be compatibility. But now let us come to the practical question. If let us say, you see, when you are in interpersonal context, you cannot take full responsibility of other person. Even the other person may be so intimately connected to you. Other person may be my daughter or my son, but so what? Other person is other person. And I should respect the independent entity of my wife, my child, anybody younger to me. Typically what happens, our bad habit is, if I'm talking to someone who is younger to me, we take it as granted that because that is younger, he or she must receive whatever I am saying. No, that we could say goodbye to it. In that process, last part of my answer to your question is that it is more in my responsibility, towards my responsibility, what I should do. In that case, please you step down certain level. If you find you are at higher level and other is not understanding you at lower level, go to his or her level, empathize with that person, and then talk to that person. So taking more responsibility is also Indian insight. Indian insight always says that take more responsibility on your side, you will be more in control of yourself. And whatever is within your control, you fully operate on that. And whatever is not within your control, you fully feel graceful, you fully feel grace of the God that the things not beyond within my control, that will be dealt by supreme power. I have nothing to worry about it. इसीलिए कहा हनुमान जी को कहा राम जी ने कि तुम तो निर्भर हो जाओ, और तुलसीदास का एक वाक्य आता है रामचरितमानस में कि निर्भर प्रेम मगन हनुमाना, that Hanuman ji became full of love. He was charged with love, and he became without any weight. He was carrying weight, something that weight was now put on the ground. इसलिए निर्भर हो जाइए. जो चीजें आपके नियंत्रण में नहीं है उसके लिए निर्भर हो जाइए, और जो चीजें आप कर सकते हैं उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले लीजिए. This is Indian insight. Anyway, what I could say in a short time, some hints. Thank you.
Thanks indeed, sir.
Thank you,
Honored.
Dr. Ajit.
Yes.
Sir, we have another question that should we accept the demands from others to show good interpersonal skills?
You see, all demands cannot be accepted. Like, it depends whether in that context you are elder brother or elder sister or senior or contemporary or junior. So any question has to come with context when we have any question on interpersonal effectiveness. But anyway, let me allow me to have some imagination that we are talking on one-to-one between two friends and both are at same level, or colleagues at same level. Should we allow the demand? I would like to say, as a patient, if I go to doctor and I say to him, the doctor, I like the taste of this medicine very nice. I like the taste of this medicine. Give me that medicine. Will doctor entertain me? Doctor would not entertain me. Doctor would say, well, I have studied about diseases more than you, and I am your well-wisher doctor. I will give you medicine. Similarly, in the role of teacher, in the role of parents, in the role of elder brother, elder sister, please, you have to understand that you need to give the best for that person, because that person is not knowing what is best for him or her. Like, you know, when God may be talking between themselves, and some serial show also, or Purana also write that Shivji is talking to Parvati and saying about some discourse. When they talk, what they may be talking about us, they may be talking about us that this, my child, does not know what is most beneficial for the person, and is demanding something which is less beneficial. He does not know what to demand. ऐसा है. दूसरी बात, that if the demand is legitimate, I think we should not waste any time. Because sometimes what happens, out of arrogance, we don't heed to the demand. But if demand is legitimate, beneficial, well thought upon, you may still say, I'm sorry, I could not think this for you, but good that you reminded, you deserve this, please take this. तो आपको वैसा रोल करना है. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. From YouTube, sir, we have another question. Nowadays, the relationship depends upon the expectation that people have the expectation. That is why they are coming into the relationship. So how one can become the how one can remain in the relationship without any expectation?
So you know the question, you know the answer. If expectation is the problem, and you are asking that how to live without expectation, means you know that expectation should be lessened. Let me tell you very frankly, all my dear friends, especially who are younger to me, in relationship, some relationships are well defined, like mother, son, brother, brother, friend, friend, husband, wife. Friend relationship is well defined when there is no ego or selfishness. But let us say sometime the friendship between two opposite gender persons, young adolescents, engaged into certain kind of affection, relationship is not yet formalized, undefined. You see, in any relationship, whether it is defined or not well defined, relationship has to be based on very, very pious and pure frameworks. As far as expectation is concerned, I would like to say, though relationship is between you and the so-called other, you and the other, you do your own duty. Don't show rights in the case of relationship. Our constitution deals with rights and duties, or duties and rights. You will be surprised to know that Indian scriptures does not talk about rights. It only talks about duties. What is duty of teacher towards a student, and what is duty of a student towards teacher? If a student does the duty towards a student properly, the right of a student is already taken care of. And when the student does the duty properly towards teachers, the right of teachers over a student is automatically taken care of. आप दो बार क्यों बात करते हैं? एक ही बात को घुमा फिरा के दो बार क्यों कह रहे हैं? Simply, if teacher does duty towards a student, the right of students is already fulfilled. And if students do duties towards teachers, the right of teachers towards students also gets fulfilled. So that's why I would like to say, my dear friends, that keep on doing your duty and let other person do their duty. Your right will be fulfilled. But by doing your duty, which is within your control, you do two things. Your duty is fulfilled and others' right is fulfilled. I think you are dealing always, most of the time, with sane person, with thinking person, with feeling person. When you will do duty, other will also do duty and your right will be fulfilled. In this way, when you keep on minimizing your mathematical expectations that I helped him 2 kilograms, how much kilogram he helped me, these all will start slowing down. You have done the help. Let help come from his side. If he gave me help, that is bonus. If he did not give me help, no problem, I did my duty. So even in formal or informal relationship, if we keep on reducing expectation, I think we will start living life fully. Thank you.
Sir, there is another question. Thank you, Minister. There is another question that you talked about the 23 skills, which are essential for the managers. And in our Indian scripture, Lord Krishna is considered as one of the complete person. And he was the master of 16 kalas. So whether these 23 skills are similar to 16 kalas?
नहीं, देखिए, 23 skills are 23 files in a very small folder of interpersonal effectiveness. It is just like similar file kept in one folder. So the combination of 23 skills is in a very small folder, but 16 kala, each folder is very big. Because let us say 16 kala, they are combination of this worldly and other worldly kala. All gunas were there. That's why, let me be short on this. The size of the folder containing these 23 skills is very small, whereas size of each of the folder of each of the 16 kala is very big. So they are not same. Dimensions are different. आप देखिए ना, आपको कितना चीज सीखना है. खाली इंटरपर्सनल स्किल सीखने के लिए जन्म हुआ है क्या? You have to understand intrapersonal skills. You have to understand intra-group skills. You have to understand skill. You have to understand trans-organizational skills. ये तो इंटरपर्सनल डोमेन के महत्व को समझाने के लिए हमने अमेरिकन मैनेजमेंट एसोसिएशन का एग्जांपल लिया कि जब एक छोटा सा फोल्डर इतना महत्वपूर्ण है, इसका मतलब इंटरपर्सनल इफेक्टिवनेस का सब्जेक्ट बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. लेकिन 16 कलाओं की बात और है, वो तो पूर्ण जीवन का विकास है. 16 कलाएं पूर्ण जीवन को दर्शाती हैं, जबकि ये 23 मिलकर के एक पर्टिकुलर भाग, जैसे मेरा दाहिना हाथ कैसे मजबूत हो और मेरा शरीर कैसे मजबूत हो, दोनों एक ही बात नहीं है. इंटरपर्सनल स्किल का 23 जो है वो है कि मेरा एक हाथ कैसे मजबूत हो. 16 कलाएं ऐसी है कि मेरा पूरा अस्तित्व कैसे मजबूत हो. आई थिंक आई कुड क्लैरिफाई द डिफरेंस.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for clarifying this thing, sir. Now the next question would like to ask by Dr. Indra Sharma.
जी.
Dr. Indra Sharma.
सर प्रणाम. प्रणाम सर.
हाँ प्रणाम प्रणाम. अरे आप तो रही हैं इंदौर में. आए हम इंदौर में भी, हम लोग मिलते थे. आप बोलिए मैडम.
सर
हाँ इंदिरा मैडम क्या, आप तो इंदिरा जी हैं मेरे लिए, छोटी हैं बहुत हमसे. जी बताइए.
सर बहुत ही बढ़िया सेशन रहा, बहुत क्लैरिटी मिली हम लोगों को इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स में. बट एक चीज मुझे इम्प्रूव करनी है, जिसके लिए ये क्वेश्चन पूछना है कि कई बार हम अनचाहे तौर पे पेरेंट ईगो स्टेट से हम रिस्पॉन्स ना करके चाइल्ड ईगो स्टेट से रिस्पॉन्ड कर देते हैं. तो ये चाइल्ड ईगो स्टेट से रिस्पॉन्ड ना करें, उसके लिए क्या स्टेप्स हो सकते हैं सर? व्हाट कुड बी स्टेप्स सो दैट वी कैन रिड्यूस टू रिस्पॉन्ड थ्रू चाइल्ड ईगो स्टेट?
चलिए इंदिरा जी, बड़ा शॉर्ट में जवाब दूंगा क्योंकि ये जवाब ट्रांजैक्शनल एनालिसिस के संबंधित है. यू सी, आई वुड लाइक टू एड्रेस टू द क्वेश्चन इटसेल्फ. योर क्वेश्चन गिव्स a sense to audience that parent ego state is desirable state and child ego state is not desirable state. This is what I can guess, being audience of your question, but it is not so. Parent ego state is like a coin. मान लीजिए ये एक coin है, चित और पट, head and tail. Parent ego state has healthy part one side and unhealthy part other side. What we call as okay parent ego state and not okay parent ego state. Similarly, child ego state has okay child ego state and not okay child ego state. It is better to respond from okay child ego state than to respond from not okay parent ego state. तो ये जान लीजिए कि जैसे हर चीज के दो पहलू होते हैं, सिक्के के दो पहलू होते हैं, जीवन में सुख दुख होता है, वैसे पेरेंट ईगो स्टेट का अच्छा और बुरा पार्ट होता है. ये कोलेस्ट्रॉल जैसा होता है, अच्छा कोलेस्ट्रॉल भी होता है और बुरा कोलेस्ट्रॉल ज्यादा होता है. सो not okay parent ego state is imposing your weight on others because I am senior to you have to do it. Not okay parent ego state. And okay parent ego state is I am talking to my junior that based on my experience I will suggest doing you doing this and consider my suggestion. This is okay parent ego state. Whereas okay child ego state is more humorous. It is more, let us say, full of sense of humor. It is very, very healthy exchange of ideas. It is laughing together. You see, seed of humor is child ego state, remember. And developing okay side of child ego state is very, very serious business. It requires lots of maturity. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा कई लोग जो हैं, मान लीजिए उम्र 60 साल की हो गई, बहुत सीरियस चीज पर व्याख्यान कर रहे हैं, लेकिन सरलता से ऐसा समझा के चले गए, हंसते हंसाते कि आपको लगा रहे इतनी मुश्किल बात इतनी आसानी से समझा दी, एकदम बच्चे की तरह समझा दिया. तो that person's okay child ego state is functional. That's why I would like to say, between among all three, parent, adult, and child, try shunning the not okay part of parent, not okay part of adult, and not okay part of child, and keep improving okay part of parent, okay part of child, and okay part of adult, and also okay part of child. Every time parent ego state is not good, every time child ego state is not good. There are two aspects of each ego state: functional, non-functional, or we can say okay, not okay, or we can say desirable, undesirable. Thank you, Indra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have more questions? If someone would like to ask questions, please write in the chat box. Or we are going to conclude the session now. Okay, I would like to mention the participants, because for this webinar, we have got more than 900 participants, and we got the participants not only from the India, but also from the University of Technology, Malaysia, Airlangga University, Surabaya, Indonesia, University of Technology, Singapore, and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In fact, from more than 118 cities of India, ranges from like south to north, and like east to south, as well as the north to west. So we got the participants from all over India also. So this webinar has been, accepted. In fact, the people has participated from all over India. So moving towards the, to conclude this webinar, now I would like to request Dr. Indra Sharma to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I, on behalf of Prestige Institute of Management, Gwalior, feel privileged and honored to propose vote of thanks. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Pawan sir that he has taken all his time and he spared around 2 hours with us, explained us about the interpersonal skills in such a detail. He connected it with Indian ethos. It was really a wonderful session, sir. Thank you so much to be with us.
Thank you.
Second, I would like to thank Dr. S.S. Bhakar, Director of Prestige Institute of Management, Gwalior, who always extend his support, his guidance in canvassing any kind of the webinars or any kind of the events that PIMG conducts. So thanks a lot to Dr. S.S. Bhakar for supporting us. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Gaurav Jaiswal and Dr. Sonal Saxena, who actually is the medium to bring such a webinar for us, and who became a medium so that we could listen Pawan sir in such a stretch. So thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you, Sonal ma'am. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Garima Mathur, so that like she's always behind us, provides us all the enthusiasm, motivation, and support to shape any kind of the event. So thank you so much, ma'am, to be a part. I would like to extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to the participants all over the globe. Like already Gaurav sir has shared the data of participants. They are through from the globe. So thank you participants to be the part of this webinar. Without you, the webinar could not have been a successful event. So thanks a lot. I extend my sincere thanks to the faculty members of Prestige who are the part of the webinar. You spend your time and you put your questions. So thank you, the faculties of Prestige. And last but not the least, I would like to thank the student coordinators of the webinar who are behind the curtain, but then they work untiringly for us. And that is how this webinar is being brought in front of you. So thanks to the student coordinators. At last, I would like to bring thanks to the technology that amid COVID, yet we can come together. We are able to see each other. We are able to listen each other. We are able to express each other. And thank you so much to the technology and to the advancement, to the digital media. Thanks a lot. I express my sincere gratitude to all of them. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gaurav ji.
Thank you so
Thank
much, sir.
you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Best
Thank
wishes
you,
to
sir.
all. Be healthy, be cheerful, and be creative. Thank you all.
thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.